In a world that seems obsessed with speed, faster internet, quicker results, immediate gratification, it's easy to feel like everything, even learning, needs to be a race. We scroll through feeds, skim through articles, and rush through books like there's a finish line. But what if I told you there's a different way? A more intentional, fulfilling way to learn, one that allows you to not only absorb knowledge, but also enjoy the process. Today, I want to share something I've discovered: the art of slow, thoughtful learning. It's not about how fast you can read, but how much you can take in and reflect on, the kind of learning that sticks with you long after the book is closed. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore why slowing down might just be the best way to truly understand and enjoy what we read. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through this note-taking experiment now, and let me tell you, this is a slow process. It's really methodical, and honestly, if you're like me, it can feel kind of frustrating at times. You know that feeling when you just want to hurry up and get it done? But here's what I keep reminding myself: this isn't about rushing to the finish line, or about becoming some superhuman reader who devours books in a day. It's about something way more important. It's about really digesting what I'm reading, slowing down so I can think critically, reflect on the ideas, and find ways to actually use what I'm learning. I mean, think about it. Reading isn't just a task to check off the list, it's something to enjoy, right? I love reading. There's something really special about getting lost in a book, diving into someone else's thoughts and seeing the world through their eyes. Imagine this. You're sitting down with some of the greatest minds in history. It's not a race. It's about savoring every word, every idea. You wouldn't brag to someone, "Hey, guess what? I had the fastest conversation with Marcus Aurelius today." Or like, "Dude, you wouldn't believe how fast I scarfed down that gourmet meal at this fancy restaurant." It's just not the point, right? The same thing applies to learning. It's not just about speed, it's about depth, about fully immersing yourself in the experience. Books are conversations with some of the best thinkers out there. When I read, I'm not just flipping pages to get to the end. I'm engaging with their ideas, taking notes, letting it all sink in. And here's the cool part. When you slow down and take your time, that's when the real learning happens. I get it. Sometimes we feel this pressure to power through a book, to finish as fast as possible, like it's some kind of accomplishment. But what if instead you just let yourself enjoy the process? It's kind of like life, really. The best moments aren't the ones we rush through. It's those slow, intentional experiences, like a great conversation with a friend or a peaceful walk in the park, that stick with us. I'm not saying every book needs to take forever or that you should write a dissertation on every chapter, but when you slow down and read with intention, you not only retain more, but you also enjoy more. And honestly, that's what it's all about. When I sit down with a book, I'm sitting down with some of the greatest thinkers, storytellers, and creators. Whether it's ancient philosophy or modern nonfiction, these are people who've mastered their craft. Why rush through that? Why not take the time to engage deeply and let their ideas really sink in? And here's the truth. The real joy of learning comes from the process of reading, reflecting, taking notes, and then putting that knowledge to use. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress little by little. That's why having a system to capture and revisit what you've... And that's really the key, letting the process unfold at its own pace. It's not about speed, it's about substance. The more you allow yourself to engage deeply, to truly reflect and absorb what you're reading, the more meaningful and lasting that knowledge becomes. So, whether it's a classic piece of literature, a philosophy text, or a modern non-fiction book, give yourself permission to slow down. Enjoy the ride, take your time, and let the ideas shape you in ways they might not if you rush through them. Because learning at its best is a journey, not a race. Thanks for sticking with me through this. I hope this idea of slowing down resonates with you, and maybe even inspires you to approach your next book a little differently. After all, the real reward isn't just in reaching the final page, it's in the growth, understanding, and joy you experience along the way. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy reading.